Alright everyone out there in Banjo land, Mike Henning here, coming to you today with 10 licks in the key of C. We're going to kind of do more intermediate licks for this one. I did 10 licks in C a while back for beginners, so definitely check that one out first. But if you're feeling like you've got some basic C licks down and you want to challenge yourself a little bit, definitely check out this lesson. We're going to add some more melodic licks, we're going to do some Scruggs licks as well. We're going to add a couple single string little ideas, so a bunch of stuff. And more importantly too is we're going to use some positions that you can use to create your own licks, which is the ultimate goal, right? You don't want to just memorize licks as an end-all goal. You want to memorize some licks to help yourself develop your own creativity so you can create your own licks. Really, that's the goal, right? But learning licks from someone else is a great way to start. It might spark an idea, and then you can come up with your own lick. That's what happened to me all the time, all right? Let's jump into 10 licks in the key of C for intermediate level banjo. All right, let's start breaking down these 10 licks in the key of C. So licks 1 through 5 are going to be 1 measure long, and licks 6 through 10 are going to be 2 measures long. And I just did, at the end of each lick, I just did a classic pinch. So that just signifies that the lick is done. You could also do a roll there. And we'll talk about some different things you can substitute in there. But just kind of remember that's the format of this lesson. It's a lick followed by a pinch on the C chord. And that's going to signify that the lick is done, okay? Alright, so let's start breaking down lick number 1. So I really like this one. It almost has like a melodic flavor, but it's a classic Scruggs style lick. If you played the song Nashville Skyline Rag, you might be familiar with a lick like this, but here it is. So we're going to start with our ring finger up on the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. And if you play those notes back and forth, you can hear it's very dissonant. It's half steps apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a forward reverse roll. So starting with the 5th string. And then I'm going to kind of bend that 3rd finger up to kind of get it to where it almost mimics that note above it, right? And then I hit the 5th string to come backwards. And then I roll back down to my C and I go open 1st string, 1st fret 2nd string, 2nd fret 3rd string, open 1st string, and then land 1st fret 2nd string, right? That's our root note, right? So get used to landing there to end your lick. That's our C, right? So the whole lick sounds like this. And then we just have the pinch, right? Or you could do like a forward roll. So it doesn't really matter what roll you do there. You know, you could do, I like the forward roll, you could do alternating thumb. It doesn't matter, like I said, that's just the ending of the lick. You just want to make sure you land here, right? That's our ending of the lick. Okay, so I think it kind of looks scarier at first than the lick really is, right? As long as you get into this shape, it's pretty easy. Right? So where's a couple spots you could use that? It could be a nice little intro to a solo, something like this, right? It actually works great as an ending lick too. So you can hear I kind of used it at the beginning to kind of come into a solo. Landed here. Just kind of as an example, I slid up to this C bar chord, and then I went to F up here, right? So it's just my F chord, kind of using like Foggy Mountain Roll. And then I went here, and then right here, you can hang out here on this G, and then right, and then you go back. So another place you could do it would be something like F, so I did like a G ending lick, and then, or you could do something like, right? You can hear hear how that's a nice, like, it resolves back. Right, that's a nice little lick. So again, try it from a G. It would really work from any of the chords. You could do it from F. You could also do it right there, like in an in-between C lick. Because it kind of leads into your F chord as well. Right here, you can just kind of put your pinky down. Alright, so you can kind of hear how that fits in. Remember, the lick is just one measure long, and it starts with your thumb, right? So you just have to make sure that last measure that you play right before it, whatever it is, doesn't end with your thumb, right? If that last measure ends with your index or middle finger, you'll be cleared and freed up to do that lick right after, right? Right? So you can even experiment like playing it. What's nice is you have that fifth string that starts it. So even if you're like way up here in this C, right, you can kind of get back down. It also might be a nice like transition back down the neck lick, right? So from maybe you're up in this C, right? So just kind of experiment with that. So obviously with any new lick, you just got to experiment with it and see where it fits in, right? It's not going to be 100% the first time you try it, but that's why you're kind of trying lots of stuff, and if it sounds good to you, it's going to work in context, all right? So now let's break down lick number 2. Here we go. All right, so lick number 2 sounds like this. More of a single string lick, so we're going to start with we have our C down, and we're going to play that first fret second string with our thumb of our right hand, and then I'm going to go down and do a little single string. I'm going to go open 1, 2, and then open third string. So my right hand is going thumb, index, and on my left hand I'm going my first and second finger. And then I do a 2 open pull off on the third string, so I use my thumb in my right hand, and then thumb. You can also do it without the pull off and do them all picked notes. Like that, or you could do a hammer on pull off between the 1 and 2 here. Be like 2 subtle variations. It's kind of similar to the G run on the guitar, except we're doing it over a C chord, so you could call it a C run. So probably more tricky is the right hand and that lick than the left hand. But where can you use that? So that's a good fill lick. That might be a good backup lick. It's also a good lick to end your solo, right? So you could do something like this. Take lick number 1. Now combine it with lick 2 right here. So that could be like a nice ending phrase. So like I go G. So that's again a nice spot when you're waiting at the end of your break for the vocals to come back in. You could also just play that lick multiple times. Where you're just kind of waiting for the vocals to come in. It would also work great in between a vocal line. So maybe you go to an F, and then C, G, something like that. Right here, you can do it again. F, first lick. That's a really nice lick. Again, it's kind of a fill between the vocal lines is where I would use that. You could maybe start a solo like that too. Something like that. But again, I would probably use it more at the end of a line or like I said, in between vocal phrases. That'd be a really great backup lick you can use. All right, so here's lick number 3. Okay, so this lick is gonna slide up from this C here to this C bar shape. So what I'm doing is I'm going from first finger and third finger to second finger and third finger. You're probably familiar with that little move, right? So I'm sliding up. I'm technically sliding from 2 to 5, like that, and then I reach my pinky up to the 7th fret. Make sure you slide your whole hand up. And then right here, reach your pinky, and then 5th string, take your pinky off, and then 5, open, brings you back down. So the whole lick sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Right, so you have a little pause. 1, 2, which gives you time to reach your pinky up. 3, and 4, and 1. That's kind of, again, like a cross between a Scruggs lick and then like a melodic lick like that, right? Work on combining them with the other licks that we just worked on, right? So you could go, or something like, right? So it's really important to combine these licks, or try it from a different position, right? You could be up here on your F. Maybe I don't go all the way back down, but I still play that same lick. Right? So maybe I'm up in this F right here. So you don't always have to slide from way down here, right? If you're already up here, right? So maybe I'm way up here. So I might slide from more like the 4th fret if I'm way up here already. The other thing right here is sometimes I might end this with my index finger. Or you can do your thumb. Either way, just kind of practice it both ways and do what feels comfortable, right? So that's a fun little lick. Even if you're down here. The other thing you can do is experiment with your right hand placement. I might come up a little bit like that. And then move back, right? So that's a classic move, is like move up while you're sliding up. You can see my hands are kind of mimicking each other. They come together and then they go back apart, right? It's kind of personal preference, but that's a more advanced way. Like beginners always keep their hand in one spot. More intermediate and advanced players move their right hand around a lot to get different tones. That's something you want to think about.